So hello everybody, let's continue the journey. Here's my second travel blog. After I boarded the plane that carried me away from the Australian cities, I found myself gazing out the window, watching the clouds drift by. They seemed to mirror everything I had been through, the experiences, the memories, the quiet moments in between. Yet my thoughts were already racing ahead, eager for the weeks and months that awaited me. Somewhere mid-air, I enjoyed a couple of Chinese beers and a brief sense of stillness. A few hours of transit followed in Chengdu, the capital and largest city of Sichuan in southwestern China. And then, finally, the flight descended into Tribhuvan International Airport, Kathmandu, the capital city of the beautiful Himalayan country of Nepal. The streets were bustling with traffic once I got out of the airport. Traffic and crowd just about everywhere. Bustling, noisy streets and people just about everywhere. I caught the road to take me down for my first visit to Pashupatinath Temple. On the sacred banks of the Bagmati, Pashupatinath stands as the eternal abode of Lord Shiva, the cosmic ascetic and protector of all beings. Revered since at least the 5th century, this temple embodies the ancient harmony of life and death, devotion and detachment. Its gilded spire and silver-clad doors guard a linga believed to radiate the primal energy of creation itself. Around its ghats, the mortal body returns to ash, while the soul is imagined to merge with the infinite, a living testament to Hindu philosophy, where impermanence is not sorrow, but sacred release. Damn, it was something. The noise and the vibe around the temple asked me for something classical and something epic. As night fell, Pashupatinath transformed. The chaos of the day faded into a quiet rhythm of chants and bells. Oil lamps flickered along the ghats, their flames trembling against the dark waters of the Bagmati. The golden spire glowed softly under the moon, and smoke from incense curled into the night like silent prayers. I stood there for a long time, listening, watching, feeling a strange calm rise within me. The temple was no longer just a place. It was a pulse, a breath of something ancient that still lived and whispered in the Himalayan air. As I walked away from the temple, the chants still echoed faintly behind me, fading into the hum of Kathmandu's night. The air was thick with incense, stories, and silence. Somewhere beyond the narrow lanes and sleeping shops, another light awaited, the great white dome of Buddhanath, where prayer flags whispered to the wind. I knew my journey through the sacred heart of the valley had only just begun. Morning came softly over Buddhanath. The first light touched the massive white dome, and the all-seeing eyes of Buddha seemed to wake with the city itself. Around the stupa, the air was alive with motion, monks circling in quiet rhythm, prayer wheels spinning endlessly, and the scent of butter lamps drifting through the alleys. Pilgrims, travelers, and locals all moved as if part of one great circle of devotion. The murmur of chants blended with the sound of pigeons fluttering above the golden spire. Amid that calm whirl of color and faith, I felt something timeless, as if the city itself was breathing peace. By night, Buddhanath shimmered like a dream. The stupa stood bathed in golden light, its eyes serene beneath a dark, starless sky. Butter lamps glowed in quiet rows, and the scent of incense wove through the cool air. Monks in maroon robes chanted softly, their voices echoing against the white walls as prayer flags fluttered above like silent hymns. The crowd had thinned, leaving only the hum of devotion and the whisper of wind. I felt a stillness settle inside me, the kind that doesn't ask for words, only a deep, grateful breath. Next, It was the town of Tamil in Kathmandu, the famous point of the hippie trail in 70s and 80s. I rode the rickshaw that rattled through Tamil's tangled lanes, brushing past neon signs, music, and the scent of street food. Shops spilled light onto the road, and laughter echoed from tiny bars. The driver pedaled through it all, a moving heartbeat in Kathmandu's restless night, carrying me through noise, color, and wonder.
Next, I visited the Kal Bhairav statue in Bhaktapur within the historic Kathmandu Durbar Square, a place where time seems to stand still. The immense black stone figure of Bhairav, fierce and unmoving, glared through centuries of devotion, festivals, and history. Around him, the square pulsed with life. Pigeons fluttering over red-roofed pagodas, street vendors calling out, and travelers weaving through the narrow paths of heritage and chaos. The air smelled of dust, incense, and roasted corn. I could feel the weight of old kingdoms here, of coronations and myths whispered through crumbling bricks. Standing before Kal Bhairav, I felt Kathmandu's ancient soul, powerful, unpredictable, and deeply alive. From there, I walked to the Kumari God, the living goddess's residence. The carved wooden windows and silent courtyard held an aura of mystery and grace. For a brief moment, the Kumari appeared at the window, calm, divine, untouched by the rush outside. In her still gaze, Kathmandu's spirit felt both ancient and eternal. Later, I found myself in Patan during the Radha-Machindranath Jatra, a festival unlike any other. The towering chariots swayed through narrow streets as crowds chanted, cheered, and pulled the ropes with devotion and joy. Drums thundered, prayer flags danced, and petals rained from rooftops. It felt less like a procession, and more like the city itself had come alive, celebrating faith, rain, and the rhythm of life. After the vibrant chaos of the Radha-Machindranath Jatra, I wandered into Patan Durbar Square, a treasure trove of Newar architecture and centuries of history. The square opened like a living museum, intricately carved temples, gilded roofs, and statues that seemed to watch silently over the daily life unfolding beneath them. Stone courtyards echoed with the footsteps of pilgrims, tourists, and children playing among the ruins. Each corner told a story. Krishna Mandir, with its soaring pagoda design, Hiranya Varna Mahavihar, with its serene golden Buddha, and countless smaller shrines tucked into narrow alleys. Artisans hammered away at wood and metal, preserving traditions as old as the city itself. The scent of incense mingled with the earthy aroma of stone and brick, creating a sense of sacredness woven into the ordinary. Patan felt timeless, a place where history and life flowed together seamlessly. From Patan, I made my way to Bhaktapur Durbar Square, a city that seemed frozen in time. Cobblestone streets led me into a labyrinth of red brick temples, towering pagodas, and intricately carved wooden windows. The 55-window palace stood proudly, its facade alive with delicate carvings, while the Niyatapola temple rose 5 stories high, commanding attention with its sheer elegance. Local artisans sold pottery, masks, and traditional crafts, their hands shaping centuries-old techniques. The square hummed with life, children chasing pigeons, monks chanting in corners, tourists wandering in awe. The air carried a mix of incense, fresh bread, and sun-warmed stone. Bhaktapur felt like a living museum, where every step revealed artistry, devotion, and the enduring heartbeat of Newar culture. As my days in Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur drew to a close, I carried with me the pulse of ancient streets, the serenity of temples, and the vibrant spirit of festivals. The valley had shown me a world where history, devotion, and everyday life intertwine. A place both timeless and alive, leaving an imprint on the soul. My journey through the Kathmandu Valley was complete, but much more awaited me as I hit the roads leading out of the valley and into the heart of Nepal's countryside.